Welcome to the second podcast of the ZIEs.
We're here to please, we're the ZIEs. Hey, say with me, yeah. The ZIEs, please. Here to please, we're the ZIEs. Hey.
So, today's topic is going to be family health and miscarriage. So we are going to give a bit of a trigger warning for this one. So if it is something that affects you badly, then you may not want to watch this, but we're just wanting to give you a perspective from our point of view. So we're going to start off with family health and then move on to miscarriage later. So, do you want to start off? Let's explain about your health issues.
So I have terminal liver failure. I got diagnosed with a fatty liver when I was 15, just after I gave birth to my son, I think. And they basically just said fatty liver and we'll just keep doing yearly scans and stuff to see. I moved address and the letters weren't coming to my address. And then a few years ago, I was just in agony and stuff like that. Went to hospital and found out then that I had obviously liver failure because obviously it's been left that long. Cut long story short, they gave me at first till I was 30 to live. And then a few weeks later when I went back, they said 3 to 5 years. And I think I'm going into my 4th year now.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm sure it's my 4th year. And I'm still here, I'm still going strong. But it does affect me daily. Pain, obviously the emotional side of it. Not wanting to obviously, even think about dying. Especially when I've got 2 kids. Because leaving them, no, I just don't want to think about it. But obviously, every day I just have to carry on. Really?
So something that we do both suffer with, for different reasons, is we both suffer with mental health. A lot of yours is to do with being ill. And the fact that you just can't do things like you want to physically, and you feel like you're letting us down, even though she's not. She's literally everything to us. In regards to my mental health, moving on to the second part of this, obviously we're going to discuss miscarriages. And when we found out about his first miscarriage, it nearly sent me over the edge. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was very suicidal, and just everything just seemed to be crumbling down. Since then it has balanced out a lot. I'm on antidepressants, which I'll probably be on for the rest of my life, but I feel like it's a lot more managed. But it is always chewing away at you, and I think mental health is like a bit of a taboo subject for a lot of people, but I feel like it should be discussed a lot more openly. And if anyone is struggling and they need to vent, if they're having a crap day, if they think world's against them, our inboxes are open. You can get us on here, you can get us on TikTok, whatever you need to do. If you need to vent, we're always here. And I feel like this is a thing for a lot of people, that they always say you seem so strong and there for us. But the thing is, we've had a lot of support from family and friends. So if we can give something back, then if it makes somebody brighten up the day, even if it's for an hour or so, we'll do what we can.
Yeah, we've been through a lot, so if you need to talk to us, we'll probably know a lot about what you're going through. And not everyone does know, but you don't realise how many people are there to support you. You don't think anyone's on your side, but there really is. And there's so much support, and we will put in the bio all help that you can get as well if you don't want to talk to us and you want to talk to somebody else. We'll put all contacts for people, won't we?
We'll put them at the end of the video as well. So
yeah.
In regards to mental health, we will put the links in first, and photos and numbers and stuff. And then moving on to our second part in a second about miscarriage, there's a couple of charities that we've accessed ourselves.
Yeah.
And also we've done bits of like charity work for and made donations to, but we'll put them on a separate one at the end. So leading on to it, basically this is the third time us trying to record this video because it's just been, it's so like emotionally draining talking about it, but we need to talk about it, and so does anyone that is suffering. So the second part of this is miscarriage. So over the last 6 years, just before Ava was born, we unfortunately gained 7 angel babies. And for me personally, the worst thing for me is the emotional pain. Obviously, I didn't suffer physically like Alicia did, which she'll probably talk about in a minute. But the emotional pain of thinking we could have had a family the size of a football team, and thinking, wonder what there could have been and what may have been and stuff like that. And it is, I think that's the worst thing for me. I think that is the worst thing for me personally, thinking, did we do anything wrong? Which obviously we've had the answers back that there's nothing we could have done.
No.
But yeah, it eats away at you. And in October, Alicia gave birth to Ava Grace, our daughter. And literally the first thing I did was cry because I thought, this is why we haven't given up. And she's a little bundle of energy. She's so joyous. She smiles. And she's just everything we've wanted. But the journey to get here is just, it has caused a bit of friction between us. Not in a bad way, but it's just like when one of us has had a bad day thinking about it, the other one's been there to support us. Sometimes we've both felt shit. And we just have to give us that little breather, don't we? And then we talk about stuff after. So I've talked about my emotional side of it. So obviously I know you're suffering emotionally as well, but like the physical side of it as well.
Yeah, obviously the women have to go through the pain and the heavy bleeding, as well as trying to support your partner, because they don't know how you're feeling either. It's hard for them. But the first one, when we lost the first one, obviously they're all heartbreaking, but that was the most heartbreaking because obviously we were trying and it just wouldn't happen, would it? And then eventually we got them lines on the test. And that's the heartbreaking thing, when you think it's finally happening and it didn't. And then obviously going through it again. And then last October, I physically had to, would you say give birth? Because it basically,
you're still giving birth,
it basically is. I had to have some tablets inserted to pass the baby, because the baby passed away at 11 weeks. I still had to carry the baby for another week, do you think? Before?
Something around that, yeah.
And then I had to go into hospital to have the baby removed. That were a horrible experience. They gave us the baby after in like a little box. That was probably the worst one because you got an actual baby. So tiny, like eyes.
See, we had to go through a full funeral process as well. See, that's the thing. After, is it 8 weeks? You're classed as having like obviously a physical baby and not just an egg. And we had to go through like a joint funeral.
With other families.
Yeah, with other families who were in the same boat. Some of them had lost babies days, weeks old, and they were all going through a similar thing. And I did speak to one chap there, didn't I? He was on his own. his missus couldn't face, obviously, the process of going through it. And I felt like he needed to vent at that time. And he was kicking himself, blaming himself. Could I have done this? Could I have done that? And 99% of the time, there's nothing you can do.
No.
So after that loss in October as well, they sent a sample of our baby off to see if there was like an indicator as if there was anything wrong with me, if there was anything wrong with Alicia.
Why it keeps happening.
See, like obviously you still now suffer with polycystic ovaries.
Yeah.
And obviously
that's one of the reasons I didn't think I would be able to get pregnant, because obviously the cysts on my ovaries were quite bad.
Yeah, obviously with your other health issues and stuff like that, that is unfortunately one thing that stops a lot of women carrying a baby, giving birth.
Yeah, PCOS, endometriosis, they're probably the worst things for people to struggle to get pregnant. But then obviously February, Valentine's Day, we found out we was pregnant with Ava. Obviously didn't know if she were a boy or girl, but obviously we know, so that's why I'm saying her. Then we genuinely just thought it was going to happen again. It's happened 7 times. Every time I got them lines on the test, we just thought again, let's not get our hopes up. Like, we never got excited again, did we, until we finally hit the 12-week point with Ava. We were able to tell all our family, because we were telling our family early every time, because we were that excited. And to be fair, it's not just us, it hurts family as well, doesn't it? Like our son, he's obviously 11, he was heartbroken. I
think that's the hardest part,
yeah,
is telling an 11-year-old that he's going to be a big brother, and then a few days, maybe a few weeks later, you're having to say, actually,
yeah,
your baby brother or sister were too good to walk the earth. And it's,
yeah.
But that was the worst thing about, like, obviously, some of the babies we'd lost, you didn't know you were pregnant.
Yeah,
like it were way too early. Whereas, like in October, for example, you obviously have your scans, and when you suffer with miscarriages, if you've had one before and whatever, you go through like the early pregnancy unit, and you have to have regular scans. It's not just like a normal pregnancy. I think is every week or two.
Every week or two, yeah. You've got to go. We did that many a times, didn't we?
And that's the thing. Like, you go to them like. I'd say, yeah, like probably happening. I'd say 50% excited, because there's always that bit chewing away here that something's wrong, and then to be told on the day a lot of the times that there's no heartbeat, your baby's not grown like it should. And I think the thing that hit me hardest in October last year was that they reckoned that the baby's heart had stopped beating either that morning or the night before, and I think like we had got quite excited at that point.
Yeah, we did.
Because it was the furthest we'd been.
Yeah.
By a long way, to be fair, and yeah, I probably was more excited going into the scans, thinking, "Hold on, this is our turn." And
the baby were growing perfect as well. Every time they were growing, weren't they? Perfect measurements, everything. So we thought, finally, it's our time.
And then obviously, like Alicia said, Valentine's Day 2025 last year, we found out, I say we were pregnant. We are pregnant. I've been carrying twins for years, but no, it's, it was, like I say, a bit of bittersweet kind of situation. And obviously we got excited again, and then it can suddenly change. Obviously, both for the fact that you're half expecting something to happen, and then going back to the first part of this video, your mental health, it just chews away at you inside. And yeah, we had the scans and stuff as like we did every couple of weeks, and then gets to 12 weeks, we can find out like everything's all right. And
obviously things can still happen afterwards, so we still weren't 100%, but we were more like 80% rather than 50, weren't we? Like obviously showing that they were growing perfectly and stuff. And then 15 weeks we found out the gender, didn't we?
Yeah, we did find it's supposed to be 16 weeks, but obviously you can do it a bit earlier.
We went and we got a little note, didn't we? We didn't find out there. We got like a little note and we give it to my sister who did like us a gender reveal. So only she knew, and she did a video and that finding out herself. And she was crying and everything. Obviously finding out it were a girl. After what we've been through as well, so she were really excited to do that.
See, one thing I want to make a bit of light to the situation of this scan. Ava's a little bugger. She is a little bugger. She's funny. And when we went for the gender scan, she wasn't playing ball. Like, her position was like, she was turned to her side. She got her head to the side and stuff like that. And they weren't able to do it. And probably for the first and the last time in our relationship, I saw Alicia run.
I had to go running around the field, round a tree and back, and drink Coke, didn't I? To try and get her moving. Then I had to do star jumps and stuff in the room. Then I had to, like, do this wiggle.
Honestly,
it was so funny.
Like I say, we had to make the...
we had to go in twice, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then the third time, luckily, she had got into the position where they could see. But me and Bobby had to look away while they
did the scan.
Because they ask you, like, do you want to know or don't you? So then they put it in a little form for us. So
yeah, like you say, pink for a girl, blue for a boy, and yeah, it just lit up green, and that's when we knew obviously they'd confirmed the gender. Yeah. So that was on the Friday.
Yeah.
And then obviously Kira, Alicia's sister, my sister-in-law, put us on a gender reveal party on the Sunday, and I'd always had that dream growing up that I'd be a daddy to a little girl. I'd always said I'll have a daddy's little princess, and I will upload the gender reveal video onto our new profile on TikTok. But obviously I was teen girl.
I said boy. I just thought, I've got a boy, and I genuinely thought I was having a boy. I had it in my head all that time, just like 2 boys. Even though I wanted a girl, so like I had one of each. But obviously we had a girl and we were so happy, weren't we? Because that's what we both wanted. Although we weren't bothered because we waited for this long. We weren't bothered what we were having at all. Girl, boy, whatever. But because obviously we got a boy and then we found out we're having a girl, it was even better, weren't it?
Just complete perfect little family. I mean, we're not.
No,
we're definitely not perfect, but obviously the perfect family, say, is a mum, a dad, a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't thank our stars enough, to be fair.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, obviously after the gender reveal, is roughly the time you started to get a bigger bump, shall we say. Obviously you had a bump, and that was I don't know if I want to say funny to watch at times.
Turning around in bed.
Yeah, turning around in bed.
Not at the 15 weeks, maybe when I got to like 30 weeks it started getting hard, tiring, and then we had her at 37 plus 3 weeks, didn't we? I had no problems throughout. Ava was really good throughout. She were on every single measurement perfect, wasn't she? But then when I went for a checkup, I had high blood pressure. And I had to be admitted that night on blood pressure medication because if you don't know, like when you're pregnant, if you have high blood pressure, it can affect your pregnancy. So you've got to be really careful. So I got admitted that night and just stayed in. And they told me I had to be induced. So I think that would have been the Wednesday, wouldn't it? And on the Saturday, I went in to get induced, didn't I? And there's all different ways to get induced, but I didn't need any of them because I was already 2 centimetres dilated, weren't I? So I'm actually really glad because it makes the process faster, although it still weren't.
No.
Because we ended up going home on the Sunday, didn't we? Because nothing were happening. Because we had to wait for a bed on the ward to get my waters broken. So me and Bobby went home. We just said, just call us when there's a bed, basically, didn't we? They rang us on the Monday at 3:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. And at 4:15, we had my waters broken. And then by 14 minutes past 7, Ava was here. And we were able to finally breathe. Like, she was here, she was safe, I was safe. We've been through all that heartbreak. And we finally got what we wanted. And we'll never ever forget our angels at all. But finally having a baby here who's safe and just hearing that cry, we literally broke down.
It's bad when a cry can put a smile on your face. It's the most bizarre feeling.
Yeah.
And for me, obviously, on the day, I've never suffered with anxiety, but I felt on that day I had anxiety because in the back of my mind I'm thinking, what if something happens to our Ava? What if something happens to you?
Yeah,
and
it can.
Obviously things can go wrong, and unfortunately for some people it does.
Yeah.
And obviously going back to like obviously why we've done this, to obviously raise awareness about miscarriages and what help and stuff you can get, is that unfortunately it can happen from a baby being days old inside your tummy as an egg, to
even weeks old.
Yeah, even
like
weeks, years old.
Yeah.
Like baby loss is, it's one of them things. Like obviously, people will blame themselves. No, all I can say for yourself is, if you're watching this and you've been through it, is the first thing you can do is stop blaming yourself. Really, like start.
Unless
stop and
you've
take a minute.
physically done something for that to happen.
Yeah, obviously there is that, but
there never is. If it's a miscarriage, there's nothing you can do. It really is just your body. It might mean there's abnormalities with the baby, anything. I know you want a baby if you're struggling right now, but just know that, just keep going. And I know that's not easy for me to say because I struggled to do that, but you just have to keep strong. Just forget about wanting to try for a baby. We stopped, didn't we? Like, we stopped because I had things on my notes like high chances of getting pregnant, lower chances. Just don't do any of that. Just go with the flow, and it will happen. It will happen one day.
Thing is, one thing that can obviously lead towards miscarriage is stress.
Yeah.
Like obviously for the mum, and obviously that stress can be passed on to baby. So the last thing you want to be doing is stressing about, oh, we need to do the deed at a certain time of the day, or we need to do it a certain way. And like, the less you think about it, I think now, looking back, the more likely it is to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think it would just chewing away thinking, we want a baby, we need to do this, we need to do that, try these folic acid tablets and vitamins and everything.
Yeah.
There's obviously all things that you can do to help, but I don't think they're a definitive. Like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what it is. There's no other way of putting it. Like, you can take all the tablets in the world, that's not stopping something if it wants to happen. Not even just in miscarriage, in general life, it can happen with anything. But just know that we are here to support you as well. Obviously, going through it so many times. Again, we'll attach links to charities like SANS. SANS are one of the biggest ones. They also have a football team. If you are in Doncaster, where we're from, well, they have them all the way around, don't they? But
national,
our Doncaster one, you played for them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Until your back got bad, and they're just an amazing group of lads who have all been through the exact same things. Some have been through stillborns, but also some are playing for families, aren't they? Some haven't physically gone through it themselves. Some are doing it for brothers, sisters, mums, dads, things like that, which you can still do because it does still hurt you. If it's a sibling or if it's your mum, if it's your dad, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be physically you, which is the good thing about it. They support everybody, don't they?
Yeah, I played for 2 and a bit years.
Yeah.
I think something like that. And it's nice, like, obviously, talking about it should not be an easy thing to talk about. And it isn't. But I feel like when you're surrounded by a group of men that have obviously been through that physical and emotional pain that you have, Sand United South Yorkshire, I take my proverbial hat off to you. It's certainly helped me a lot, and it's helped you a lot as well.
Yeah, there's all the women go, and all the kids are there, aren't they? And it's actually really nice. You make really good friends. But it's not just them you can talk to. You've also got your bereavement midwives and stuff like that, and we had the best one, didn't we?
Yeah, big shout out to Jenny from Doncaster Hospital. She, we dealt with her probably the last 3 miscarriages, I think. And obviously going through the process of losing a baby, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But she was just that bit, a light at end of the tunnel, just to be that. Well, I'll not say the shoulder to cry on because it weren't a physical shoulder to cry on, but...
Well, she did with me.
Well, she did with you.
October,
Yeah, she did with you. But, like, just talking to someone that's trained for a start in, like, obviously what you're going through and everything, it's just...
She were on me, like, obviously last October when we had that one, she came to the room and she wore my shoulder to cry on, but also not just for the women, for the men, she's been amazing with you as well. And even weeks after, she were calling us, making sure we were alright, needing anything. She were at the funeral place, weren't she? So she was supporting for us and all the other families as well. But even now we talk to her and she found out obviously about Ava, didn't she? And she's just been amazing. She's not just there just for when it happens. She's there if you want to talk to her 3 years later. She'll be there for you to talk to. How you're feeling and stuff like that. So it's not just while going through it or anything. It can be years after. So don't ever worry about wanting to contact her. If you're having a bad day, she'll always talk to you. And not just her, it's just we've physically gone through. Yeah. So there's loads of other people, but she was ours and she were honestly amazing. And if I could give her everything, I would.
See, in February, obviously, 14th, when we found out, a few days later, I think maybe up to a week, I'm not sure, we went for his first scan to obviously make sure everything was right in the early pregnancy, and she was there. And I remember saying to her at the time, and almost crying on the spot, thinking, we're at this point again. And I know that sounds awful and it's horrible to say, a pregnancy should be exciting, but I literally turned around to her and said, we're here again. And you could see it in the back of her mind. Like, you can physically see it as someone thinking, I don't want you to go through this anymore. And come to maybe 12, 13 weeks when you had that scan.
It was the 12 weeks.
Yeah, the 12-week scan.
Outside,
we came outside and she was there doing a stall, raising money for SANS and other baby loss charities around Doncaster and, well, surrounding areas.
So happy,
and she was over the moon that obviously we got to that point. And then I remember the day we brought Ava home, literally she was I don't know if she was on her way into work or on her way out, and she just looked at Ava and she was on the verge of tears because I have never seen someone be more excited. And to be fair, at that moment, she was probably more excited than us because we were obviously emotionally drained, physically drained, we barely slept and stuff, and she just gave us both a cuddle. And like Alicia said, she is one hell of a woman. And
I don't know how on it, like, genuinely I could not do that job.
No.
I would always be able to talk to people if they ever wanted to about it and stuff, but how she goes through that every single day, I really don't know. She must go home and think.
I don't know how she offloads.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't know how she does it, but she honestly is unreal. So there's not just obviously them, there's obviously all your charities, but they're the two main, Sans and her, aren't they, that have supported us through this.
See, every hospital will have a designated bereavement midwife, and
You just ask for them.
yeah, ask
If
for
you
them.
haven't got
Take
one.
any help you can get.
Yeah.
If you, like I say, if you're watching this and it's just happened, or this isn't your first time it's happened, we just want to make you aware of like the support and stuff you can get, because I think without the support that we've received, I think we'd
I
have
don't
given up.
think, yeah, we would have given up a long time ago.
Yeah,
And we wouldn't have got Ava.
no. But that don't bear thinking about. But
No.
it's just the fact that there's people out there and charities and groups, even like talking groups and stuff, that know what you're going through. And I know that sounds daft. Nobody truly knows how you feel, but they're people that know roughly what you're going through,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And they're there just to be that ear to listen.
Yeah.
And
And don't just think, oh, it's the job they've got to... No. She never made us even feel that way, did she?
No.
I genuinely thought she was just like a friend because it just felt that...
she's almost like a mum.
Yeah, she literally was, wasn't she? It's not just because that's the job they've got to do it. She really didn't make us ever feel like that at all. She were... Honestly, if I could just talk about her forever. And we wanted to get her in this like video, didn't we? But... we just haven't been able to get in touch with her, if I'm honest. So, maybe another video we might be able to get her in and talk about it in a bit more depth. Because she'll know a lot more than us, won't she? Like other places to go to and things like that. But
This has been hard enough. Like I said, this is our third time recording this.
yeah.
Um,
I'm surprised I've only cried once.
yeah.
Because I've been feeling a bit rubbish lately as well, haven't I? This hasn't really helped. Knowing I've got to film this because it's hard.
Well, all I want to say on that is I'm proud of you, and just think that hopefully one person watches this and we've helped.
Yeah,
them.
that's what's pushed me to do it, because I'm just helping other people, because I know how hard it is.
So yeah, I hope that's shed a bit of light, obviously, on what we've been through, and if anyone's watching this and they are struggling, like I said, contact us.
Or any of the links we're going to put in.
Yeah,
Anything.
any of the links we'll put them at the end of the video.
Yeah.
I'm also going to make a link tree on our TikTok, so it's got obviously our pages and places you can go to for things that are obviously close to us. So yeah, thank you for watching. And
yes, thank you.
like I say, apologies if any of this has triggered anyone. That wasn't obviously the intention of this video. The intention of this podcast, should I say, is just to realise that you're not on your own.
Never.
You're never on your own. And yeah,
You've got this.
Yeah, you've got this. And for anyone who's got their angel babies, you're doing them proud. That's all we can say. You're doing them proud. And if you're on a journey, your journey's only just begun. And you will eventually get that light at the end of the tunnel. We've got our Ava Grace. And yeah, just keep yourself strong.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you next week.
Bye.
We're here to